If you miss the days when handhelds had personality, think clamshells, sliders, or portrait screens, the MagicX Zero 40 might feel like a bit of a throwback. It's not just another Android box with buttons. This one's clearly built for DS games and vertical arcade shooters, and I kinda like that. Here's what I think of it after seeing how it holds up in actual gaming. First off, the design is strange, but that's kind of the point. The MagicX Zero 40 ditches the usual wide handheld shape for a tall, slim portrait design. It's built around a 4-inch touchscreen sitting vertically, and it looks odd at first. But when you boot up a DS game or a vertical shooter, it starts making sense. The build feels solid for the price. You've got matte plastic all around, rounded edges, and for how tall it looks in photos, it fits surprisingly well in your hands. And way more portable than chunky DS clamshells. It's definitely not your usual handheld, but credit where it's due, they tried something different. The MagicX Zero 40 comes with a 4-inch IPS touchscreen, running at 480 by 800 resolution. Vertical games fill out the display nicely. The screen's bright enough indoors, colors look decent. Not OLED quality, but better than the old DS screens. It's not great in direct sunlight, but manageable. The touch is fine for menus or light inputs, but some games will feel cramped using your finger. The D-pad feels responsive and good for platformers and fighting games. It's got decent travel, though diagonals are a bit sensitive. The analog stick uses Hall sensors and is tucked lower in the body for portability, but feels natural when playing, especially in tall mode. Face buttons are small but clicky, similar to Switch Lite buttons. Shoulder triggers are padded, silent, and textured. Feels surprisingly premium for the $75 price point. Overall comfort is pretty good. The shape looks weird, but no hand cramps, and button spacing is fine for long sessions. Performance is where the MagicX Zero 40 plays it safe. It runs on an all-winner A133P chip with 2 GB of RAM. It's not blowing minds, but for DS, arcade shooters, and retro consoles up to PS1, it does the job. You can run some PSP and N64 with tweaks, but heavier emulation isn't happening. Android games work, but widescreen games feel awkward on the tall display. Rotating helps, but it's not ideal. Battery life is decent, with an expected range of 4 to 6 hours depending on the game you're playing. Storage is handled via micro SD cards. Early units ship with a 64 GB or 128 GB branded card, plus a second micro SD slot that supports up to 512 GB. It comes preloaded with a decent game library and box art. Audio is fine. Stereo speakers are loud enough, there's a headphone jack, and even a rumble motor for haptics during gameplay. You've got 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.2. Charging happens over USB-C and there are 2 ports. One for OTG accessories like controllers, one for power. It even supports fast charging, which is rare at this price. So, is the MagicX Zero 40 worth grabbing? If you love DS games, vertical shooters, and quirky handhelds that stand out, it's a fun little device. It's not replacing an original DS for touch-heavy games, and it's not built for demanding emulation, but for $75? It gets surprisingly close to what it promises. If you want raw performance or perfect landscape gaming, there are better options. But for stacked DS gameplay, arcade shooters, and retro classics in your pocket, the MagicX Zero 40 is weird in the best way.